voice of the mountains, a deafening call, bellows down over the plains. On a host of battle-worn ears it does fall, pushing out through the thunder and rain. These men of the north, they have suffered too long. The anger, it swells in their veins. Of the spirited roars of lost warriors, songs, distant echoes are all that remain. And my voice is my violence, clear the skies, frozen tears, and no more will be silent with this avant-garde song in our ears. And we stand tall, sons of the snow, we will not fall under these blows, for our hearts they are hardy, our spirits are strong, and our voices are lifted into this avant-garde song.
Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to our newest session of neighbors banging on shit. Our newest session of actually our first session of Tales of Exandria for the Wednesday campaign. Before we jump right into the action, as per usual, we have a few short announcements that we have to make. Short announcements. I'm sorry, my brain just short-circuited for a mere second. Yeah, fun times. So, short announcements. If you would like to join our fantastic community or support our community, please consider giving us a like, a follow, a subscription, all of that fun stuff. It definitely goes to help grow our community and helps integrate us into more and more people so that people can enjoy a fantastic living world experience of D&D, unlike any other that you can get out there. Aside from that, if you are watching the stream, we have a new... I have to update this. I'll update it when we actually start going over everything. We have a new sub-goal called Gnome Splaining, where I will explain exactly where my deep-seated hatred of gnomes comes from. And, well... I'll be giving a short little narration and storytelling of why I hate gnomes so much. But we have to hit that goal, though that number is supposed to be at 14 right now, not 7. I don't know why it's resetting to 7. It's becoming really aggravating. But anyways, Velarays, would you like to tell us what happened last session?
Okay. Last session, pretty much the session 0, where we all got to know our characters. I believe there was Darius, Rarik, and I think Kael'Van that were all meeting with each other on the road. After some time just talking, they eventually get to the inn, whose the name of the inn I've forgotten.
Which inn? Phone call.
All the time. Sorry, phone.
All right, go ahead and give us that recap, Darius.
All right, we met Rorik on the way to this little inn in a goblin town. When we got to the end, we talked to the innkeep a little bit. We ended up finding out there was another person on their way to Charis as we were. But they didn't have a map and they didn't know their way. So we ended up talking to them a little bit. We figured it was safer to travel in numbers. And we asked them if they would want to tag along with us on the way there, since we all had ended up discussing that we had the same dream or vision, whatever which we each decided to call it. Me and Rorik stopped by the herbalist in the town and ended up getting a salve like cream to help with sleep and wounds. And then we ended up setting out on the road eventually and heading towards Charis. When we got there, we ended up meeting Ein. Did I say that right?
Ein.
And they introduced us to the community of Dragonborns. We got to meet the different elders and all the different NPCs. I have a list. I could name them, but there is a lot of NPCs. We ended up staying the night and seeing if anybody else would end up showing up. But we had all reached our destination, and that's where we left off.
Ready. So, you all hung out inside of Ein's small little hut here in Charis, being greeted warmly by the community, being treated very nicely and kindly by all of them. Honestly, it has been quite a decent experience so far. The sense of small community is one that not many people get to experience within their lives very often, but here in Charis, it's everyday life for them. So long as you hang out and help out a little bit. No? Some of you have been assisting, keeping watch, assisting in hunting, providing different skilled services to the community for a couple of days, trying to figure out everything that you can. During which time, KL, just because I'm going to expedite all of this, you need to go back to Charis to pick up more supplies, and you don't know what the hell is taking everybody so goddamn long to show up to your tiny hut. Or maybe you're more patient. Who knows? So, early in the day, you start rowing a boat back across the eyes of the lake. By the middle of the afternoon, you've made it into town. What would you like to do?
So first thing off, I would like to eat something because I don't have any more supplies to take in my excavation. So I would like to go to Ain, see if she's there and if she has anything to eat.
All right. So you head over to Ain's estate. Who would be helping Ain's directly? Better question. Who's capable or willing to heal, help, and nurture people? Rorik is. I suppose that means you cannot speak right now, Icebreaker?
No, sorry, I'm not used to just doing it on my phone, I guess. Yeah, I can. Rorik is capable of doing such things, and it will gladly help out.
Very well. So you do so. So you step inside and...
Well, actually, just before stepping inside, what Rurik would see is a blackburn owl sitting on the window with rusty-looking eyes, rather than the black or yellow that usually is the brown eyes. And then it turned back to the correct color. And this is when Kale step in the hut.
So yeah, please describe exactly what you look like to them.
So you see a tall and slender figure approaching you, unveiling his face from under the hood. He pulls back. You definitely notice it's a drow for having probably walking around Xoras for some time, or maybe not. But most drows have obsidian black skin. His is much paler, almost silver-like. He looks young, but you never know about an elf age. Wears mid-long hair, tied back, streaming along his neck as bright mercury. So very, very white hair. His eyes are orange-ish, color of rust, sharp and piercing. Surprisingly, they do not seem to be impacted by the bright light of the sun, as they should. However, his clothes have seen the sun and the dirt and the rain, so the black of his cloak has grayed, and the various, once vibrant and colorful, quite probably quite expensive fabrics of the two tunics he wears have faded, leaving a general bleak overall look. He wears few leather protections on his torso, boots, shoulder, and right forearm, although from good craftsmanship, but they seem patched. And you also notice that his left forearm and hand are covered by blooded bandages, dried blood seemingly radiating from the palm of the hand. Sorry.
It's good.
Big chunk to read.
You step inside, and Rorik, you see this, well, different individual from whom you've experienced in the past 2 to 3 days or so in Shurus. Ian, of course, you immediately recognize them.
Oh, come in. Take a seat right there. Me and Ian will be with you shortly. Goodness, I don't. Are you feeling okay? I don't mean to offend you, but you're the palest drow I've ever met. Ian, do we have anything to help him? It looks like he's been on the road for a while. Here, sit.
I smile at Ian and just you can see that Kale is amused by your dedication and the fact that and the overall situation that I actually quite belong in this place with Ian.
I was like mostly just smiling, just watching Rurik fumble by himself before it's fine, Rurik. That's Kale, one of the others that we're supposed to meet. He was the one that sets you up for all of us to meet here.
Yeah, Rurik.
And this is Kale. This is Rurik. He looks old, but seems pretty travel worn, so should be trustworthy enough.
I can see that. It's always good to have another capable person with you, Ian. I wasn't sure what to expect when I sent those letters. I didn't know at all who would show up.
Rurik kind of squints as he takes a closer look. He's like, "Oh yeah, I do recognize you. You about 2-3 weeks ago, you also had that dream, right? I saw you there."
Yeah. And I kind of recognized you, though I'm surprised to see a human walking through the waves.
Oh,
you must be quite talented to be still alive.
It's not so much talent as I rely on some good friends and company and just try to stay safe, you know.
You should. Fair enough.
Can I get you some tea?
Well, absolutely, but I'm definitely hungry. Do you have something to eat?
We should have some on the stove left. You can, if you could be a dear, Rurik, you can scoop some for him just to ease his hunger a little.
Well, I mean, I do have these jerky bits in my hand that I was about to feed that owl there, but I mean, would you mind? Yes, and Rurik kind of takes some of the jerky bits because it's jerky, so he kind of here's a handful of it. It should give you a mouthful, something to go on. The rest I'm going to give this owl, and I'll go and get you something.
Don't touch the owl. It's mine. And I snap the finger and I'll just take off and come and sit on the shoulder. This is Key. Key, be a nice boy and don't get eaten by big human. Huh?
He seems like a fine creature. And hey, I'll just give me a moment, and I'll go fetch you something. Ines, are those sandwiches still in that cupboard?
Oh, yeah, it should be in the cupboard in the middle rack. It's in one of the baskets.
Do you like turkey or chicken?
Anyway, it's fine. I'm starving.
Right.
Do you by any means know why the supplies have stopped going through the lake?
I didn't receive any reports about it. You should probably try asking Wudan or some of the other guards that were on duty.
Okay. I will then.
Although, might as well take a short break. You didn't leave anything important or anyone important to wait for us, did you?
There? Oh no,
Yeah.
I was alone. It was damn too dangerous.
Well, I'm glad to see you back here safe and sound at least.
Thanks the moon I am.
I'm sure the other 3 people would be here sometime soon. They were helping around the village. You know how it is, because you faced the same thing back then. They were pretty, how should I say, cool towards outsiders early on, after all.
And as you say that, the door kind of opens up with everybody else coming in for dinner after a long day's work.
Oh, speak of the forest. Now they're here.
You looked at McKeaton and went, "Forest."
He's like, yeah,
good catch, good catch.
Smooth criminal. Fuck yeah.
So good at this.
And I am not so right you associate me with Forrest, but I'm coming in anyways.
That's a damn accent you have here. And I'm speaking Johassen.
We could.
Do any of you understand Jorhassian?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know.
Whew.
I just didn't hear him. It broke up for a second. So.
Yep. So that would be Artie and Darius are the only 2 that understand you. Well, Ian, of course.
No, Ian and I thought Farik did of the.
He doesn't speak.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no.
So I'm taking back the the remark.
Well, you can make the remark and he just goes, "Ah."
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you are saying.
It's like when 2 Canadians start talking to each other and I just go, "Yeah."
Sorry.
Dude, I'm French.
Exactly.
When a Canadian talks to a French, you don't think you speak the same language, actually.
We. Screw you.
So how many are you? I count 5. Isn't there any more?
This is it.
Just us for
Please.
now, I believe.
Goddamn Snook.
Well, you did warn about those 2 at least. So I guess at least getting this much is quite an achievement after all.
Yeah. Well, excuse my manners. I am Kyle Van Ilis from Rosanna, and it is very lovely to make your acquaintance. I'm very glad that you all made it all the way down here. I know it's quite a travel through the wastes. But please, who are you? how should I talk to you? Because I all recognize you through this weird experience. I guess, if everybody is here is legitimate. Have all this weird experience, but except that, no, nothing.
So while you all have this conversation, Rolric would be making food and serving everybody because they went AFK.
Yeah.
So go ahead, everybody, do that roleplay thing.
Nice to meet you. I'm Darius, and this is my friend, and I point to Wind.
Nice.
I'm gonna mess up your name until I hear it like
Artie.
10 times. Yeah, Artie.
What? Out of character question. What would Darius look like in terms of a? Would it look like as a human or something?
Yeah, he looks human. Yeah, little paler skin than normal, but he looks human.
Actually, what
Yeah, I
you
don't-
are is very common in Jorhas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
to the naked eye or untrained individual, he appears like a pale human. To a Jorhasian, you know that they are something else.
Okay.
Because they are very common. Not common, but like they're not uncommon.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not until enslaved as sight.
Yeah. Or persecuted and mutilated by people who are threatened by them. You know, you're common.
Yeah.
Not dead yet.
Yet.
I am
Exactly.
Go ahead, Artie.
I am Erlity. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Lord Dragon. And I turn around. Bored.
Checking tail.
On the,
God, that's so uncomfortable. Everybody has to look at your ass.
Oh, yes. Maybe make an introduction there.
Yes, everyone has to now. It's my dream.
Dragonborns are like dogs, I guess. You just start looking at each other's asses.
Oh God.
Oh my god. You have just made an uncomfortable connection in my brain.
I am not gonna make that canon.
Thank God.
That's not canon. No.
No, but now that exists in my head somewhere.
Well, as we see now, the tiefling will stand up and give you a short bow, Kelvin, and say, I'm Magit. I am, well, mostly here to see what this dream we all have, and whatever we're doing here can help to advance my own studies.
Great. It's very nice meeting you all. But yeah, I suspect you have tons of questions. Come. And I would try to make some room on a table. I will pick up just a small stone from my pocket and cast light on it, and then I will cast Mage Hand to just hold the stone in levitation above the table. Then I will take out my cartographer's tool and some sketches that I've already made of a map of the region of the Eyes of the Lake. So the two islands that are on the lake that I don't have the name because there are characters and tokens of it. And I will start
Fever Gulf.
Fever Gulf, guys. And I will start sketch out some stuff around the lake. So, who amongst you got the letter, actually? Because just to know if I need to cremate the goblin or not.
Oh, I've gotten the letter myself. You'll just bring it out.
Well, I mean, it's I don't think you need to cremate the goblin or anything for that. I mean, I've been traveling on the road with these two gentlemen, Ari and Darius, here for a while, so it's hard to sort of deliver those kind of parcels while you're traveling.
Yeah, for sure. Though he's supposed to be quite of a traveler and to know people, so when he tells me something, I can tend to trust him, but I shouldn't. Well, we are here, and I put on the Charis point of the map. Those two islands are called the Eyes of the Lake because they are twins in the middle of a lake and make some kind of a face. I don't know. During our dream, why? I don't know what you were doing, but I found a separate statement, a separate area that pulled me, put my attention, cut my attention. And on this area, I found some glyphs and some depiction, and I did some research, and everything tended to bring me here in the search for a long lost temple, probably pre-Calamity, but I'm not sure. The temple of Lost Noct. And this, and I point in the have I found it already in the excavation or not, Jero? Like, am I just looking for it, or have I found it?
The entrance, which is pretty small and tight, but it's not something you can go down to by yourself.
Okay, so I found the entrance and I found out on the map where, and I've started trying to dig out around and found information and stuff around, but it's, I mean, I may be audacious, but I'm not suicidary. I don't want to kill myself, so I don't want to go down there alone. And I think that if you're here, is that you are at least as interested as I am to understand what happened and why we got this dream. And this is a piece of information that we could look at because it's the only one that we have at the moment, or at least that I am. I don't know you, but it's my situation.
Well, it's the only lead we have so far, after all. You did a good job finding it.
Yes, that's very impressive. I think, but I agree. I wouldn't have went down there by myself either. I'm definitely willing to go with you.
Oh, that's one.
Well, I mean, it's dangerous to go alone. So here, we'll come with you, but also take this. And Rourke passes him some tea.
Of course.
I hate you.
Then I have no choice but follow.
3. I suspect that Iron is also a 4 because
Well,
she already told me.
Well, you left me out of the previous one. You can't leave me out this time, would you?
Which previous one? And I wink. Mr. Forrest. You in?
Alright.
Speaking of the forest, yeah, well, whatever. You in?
Seems so.
Cool. All right. Fine. And
those three are always together, so you can easily assume that they'll stick together no matter what.
Snorts fairy dust. Oh god.
That stuff just gets you going.
Fucking Mika. So,
before that, I assume this is where we end up having to go underground then? If yes, then we might have to ask some of them for things to make our travel easier.
I do have some torches.
Well, there's also maybe a need for a crowbar or a pickaxe. You know, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more than used to go in those areas. I have everything sorted for that, and some already in excavation there.
Yeah, well, it's true. You're the most experienced one I know, at least, about this. I mean, the others are more prepared for long distance travel, as she just looks closely at the others. Probably not ready. When do you think we should start off then?
At your earlier convenience.
I'm ready to go just about whenever myself.
While you're all having this conversation, the door to the estate, or to your little hut, gets kicked in by a few of the guardsmen. They come dragging in the body of one of the fishermen. Their left leg is completely gone, mutilated, and they have many wounds all across their body as they drag them in towards you, Ayn.
Ayn just stands up, get him to the bed on the next section.
They frantically carry him over towards the bed and placing him up there.
A quick question, Joe. The leg, is it like bleeding profusely and stuff?
Roll me a medicine check.
I was asking if they tourniqueted it.
Roll a medicine. 19. You go over and you see that the leg appears to be severed with a clean cut, and there is a bit of cloth that has been pressed around the wound to hold it shut, but the blood seems to be seeping out of it and drenching downwards in a very quick manner.
Well, the first thing Eric's going to do, because he's seen this stuff before, he finds a small, sturdy stick, and as well as a strong cloth, wraps it around and makes a tourniquet, like a makeshift one.
All right.
Around at the leg. It hurts like a lot, but it'll stop the bleeding.
Give him something to bite onto. Rurik, you keep doing that. One of you help me boil a basin of water as she...
Oh,
She
Me
just
bother.
goes and grab her usual tools to help, and she just points towards the others. One of you help boil the water. Rurik, you keep doing that.
I'll handle the water boiling.
Alrighty. The guards turn over towards you, Ayn, and they start exclaiming the situation. Voltaire was just out doing his job fishing, and we saw his boat crashed up on the shore. He was dragged in. We have no idea what happened, and he's just been frantically speaking. I don't understand what he's saying. You hear him muttering words under his breath right now. The pain has him shutting his eyes aggressively, holding them closed. What languages do all of you speak?
Conic, Common, Infernal.
Okay.
Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Xorasian, and
The other one.
Yeah. Well, not count Rohasian, but yeah.
Common, Johasian, Draconic, Giant. I think it was Giant.
Okay.
Elvish as well.
Looking at it all, KL, you're the only one who understands it. It's Abyssal.
Okay, what is he saying?
He's whispering words in a very guttural sense through his body. It seems to pain him to do it, but he's repeating the same words over and over and over. The severed king, they wish to find him. The severed king, they wish to find him. The severed king, they wish to find him. And it's almost like his mind is just stuck on that phrase, not moving any further.
Do I know what is the Seven King?
You've never heard of it before?
I translate it. Do someone know about it? What is the Seventh King?
Miket, are you proficient in religion?
Yes, I am.
Roll me a religion check. It sounds familiar, but you don't quite know who it is. It sounds like something you probably passed through in one of your studies. But unfortunately, you don't know. Warwick, you've effectively slowed the bleeding, but because it is such a large wound that was cut and severed off, it's not ending quite yet.
That's not how tourniquets. Okay.
It's the entire leg is completely ripped off. You've slowed it, but the blood is still rushing. And you have to remember magic.
Okay, so magical wound. All right.
So Crohn's needs magic healing.
All right, and Eric's gonna go ahead and help magically heal best he can. Actually, first, he's going to kind of stop him from going into shock, or do his best to do that by casting sleep.
Okay. The moment you cast the spell, he's still in mid-sentence trying to utter it, but immediately just conks out.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use enough points of lay on hands to to try to stop the bleeding, essentially. So I don't know how much that would be needed.
Lay on hands to do that. Because of the nature of your specific healing, roll me a d6.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
6 points of lay on hands, but it does take you a little bit to specifically judge the amount that you need. Actually, no, with your experience with doing this in Crisis, you managed to look at the wound, decipher it, and it probably only takes you 6 to 12 seconds, 2 tries to get the exact number you needed. What the hell's that?
Sorry, that was background noise.
Oh, okay.
My bad. But yeah, I used 6 points of lay on hands to heal him, and I look for any other wounds to make sure he's all right.
Alrighty, roll me an investigation, please. You look at the leg, and that is very obvious. That is not okay. There's something wrong with that wound. As you laid the healing into him, it seemed to not take hold through his body very easily and took a little bit longer to produce the desired effect that you needed. Then you start looking at the hands, the chest, ripping the clothes open to be sure, because usually if something is going to attack you like that, you're getting attacked on multiple fronts, unless what is attacking you is significantly overpowering towards you. And you find right on the right-hand side of its neck, right at the base of it, hidden underneath the collar, there is a little spine that looks to be pricked all the way through. It is an ugly yellow color with a faint glow coming off of the wound itself, and you do see a little bit of blood just trickling out of it.
Does the spine look barbed?
You feel around the wound, and yes, it is barbed.
Can I get some assistance with this?
As she comes back, there's what do you call it? A scalpel or whatever, or something similar, and some threads to just sew it.
Do either of you have a healer's kit?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, then yeah. Because I'm not giving you a scalpel. It's like you have a healer's kit. Okay, that's justifiable then.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
You come over and you have all the necessary components.
Yeah, I'll try and check it first to see if it's poison before we pull it out.
Okay, are you proficient in poisoner's kit or herbalism?
No, I'm just looking at it, the symptom wise.
Alright.
to see like is it blackened or like necrotic or something.
Roll a medicine check.
One more thing too, Joe. Given what I learned about this like small barb,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the assumption, or Rurik is gonna make assumptions poisoned, and 5 points of lay on hands to kill the poison in his body.
Very good.
Yeah, first natural one of the day.
It has to happen to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you just begin looking around to see if it is poison, I mean, it doesn't look poison to you. Rorik just assumed and removed any poison or toxin from the body itself. Now you just have to spend the necessary time to tend to the wounds and fix some of the issues, and it's going to be a very painful and loud experience for both of you. The tourniquet is a good temporary measure, but it cannot be permanent.
Yep.
So, without going into too many details, because I did not give people a gruesome horror warning or anything like that, you tend to all of this, and everybody else is asked to step outside during this venture. And the two guards who step out there, they seem shaken. They're a little disturbed by all of this happening. And just, they seem very, very spooked right now.
I turn to the guards that I start to know. Wudan is his name, right?
I'm sorry?
The Dragonboard guard that came in, like Wudan is his name, right? Like on the same page.
Oh, these are different guards. The ones that you know are higher up. These are people who run patrols around the edges. But this one is White Fox is what they go by.
Dragonboard also?
No, an elf.
Elf.
Yeah. There are a few of other groups other than halflings and dragonborns here, but very few.
Okay. I turn to the elf and I ask him, is it the only one? Have you other lost?
Not that we've found or known about. We saw him washed up on the shore, so we decided to get him immediate treatment. And yeah, we have to go back. And he immediately starts jogging off towards the beach.
Ask to the other member of the community if there are everybody missing, and start looking around if you're seeing any more in a worse state than it is.
All right. Thiessen is going to do that. They turn and they start, going door to door, banging on the doors, asking people, and starting to look into all of this.
Oh boy, I hope I didn't provoke that.
Do you say that out loud?
I said out like to myself, but
well,
probably
let's look at
panicked enough.
passives. Rorik, no. Darius, no. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Maybe Ayn, because she knows me.
She's
but,
inside, you're outside. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
I give you the opportunity to be sneaky so long as somebody doesn't take the observant feat at level 1. But yeah. Yeah, those two are very distracted. They're not passively doing anything right now.
Okay.
Wait, you said my face is off frame right now, or was that a while ago?
It was a while ago. It was during the
Yeah.
introduction where there was only you.
Yeah, that's because I didn't fix everything when he joined in. It's cool. Yeah, it adjusts everything. But while the two of you are tending to the patient, I do need one more medicine check. One of you can roll it, or both of you can roll. One
I
with
would like to-
advantage. Yeah.
I'd like to give Ayn advantage.
Okay. Go ahead, Ayn.
Oh no.
The pressure's on you.
Dun
God.
dun
Dun.
dun.
One moment. That
It's a
Thing
modifier
is-
anyway, so it doesn't change anything if one or the
yeah,
other.
the thing is being silly again. Give me a sec.
It's cool.
Nah.
Oh
Hey, it's a double 7.
no!
That's a 14,
Total
right?
of 14. No,
Yes.
no, that's not how that works at all.
Double
14's not
seven.
high enough.
Yeah, that's not.
But the
I don't-
07 is That was 7.
It's not gonna count, but I just want to roll now just to see what it would have been if I did it.
Yeah, of
similarly.
course, go for it. You know.
Okay, yeah, that's
That's fine.
That's accurate.
So just roll a handful more times, and eventually you'll start rolling 10s. Hey.
I know, right?
But anyways, while the two of you are in there working for a couple of hours, unfortunately, the wounds to the body, removing the poison helped tremendously, but the amount of blood loss, the care that you can put into it, it's just they're not in a condition that either of you were prepared to save them, unfortunately.
Oh.
And
One thing I wanted.
the individual unfortunately expires. It's been about an hour or so. The town has gathered around your estate. As you step outside to address them.
Mhm. I just step outside, look at the rest of them, and just shake my head. The wounds were too deep, and it was not enough time to keep him stable and keep his life here.
A couple of the family members to this farmer. You know him by Laji. He's been a member of the community for roughly 5 years or so. He wandered in from elsewhere and just wanted to have a new beginning. And he's been working, learning to be a farmer and learning to be a fisher over that time.
I just looks toward the family. I'm sorry, we tried.
They both
but
just
it's not enough.
they both head inside to spend some time. The guards who were on duty walk forward towards you, Ein, and look over at you, Rorik. And we will be sure to explain to them the condition was not easily manageable, but I think the two of you need to come see this. I can't make out anything.
Are there others?
Where?
She shakes her head and give me one moment, and she just goes inside to just take a, the traveling stick before going out. Well, lead the way.
He starts walking towards the beaches. Rorik, are you going to accompany them?
I'm debating because I want to comfort the family, but at the same time, this is also pretty important. So, Rorik will, he'll accompany Ein.
Everyone else, what are you doing?
I'm accompanying.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah. On the off chance something dangerous is, or whatever's behind this, whatever's behind what happened here is coming, I'll go with.
By the way, Jero, for my notes, what was the fisherman's name again?
Laji.
Laji?
Laji. Logge.
Okay.
Sounds more like Loggy for that spelling.
Johasian.
Different accents.
Quick question too, Jero. I assume during our surgery, sort of whatever, we did pull out that barb.
Yes, you did. If you would like to have kept it, you can.
Yeah.
All right. It's frail around the thickness of it, like where the line of the barbing is. Like it's pretty frail, but the tips and the exteriors of it are very sharp and very strong. It's easy to snap off, but it's really hard to break from putting in.
Quick question about it. Does it look like it is made of bone or something, like it's been carved to be that way, or it looks like a natural barb, like something a stingray might have?
If you take the time to clean it off from all the blood and everything else, I'd allow you to make a check to see if you can figure it out. But right now, you're all walking to the beach. You can clean it at the beach if you want.
Yeah, that's.
Go ahead and stick your hand in the water.
I was gonna clean it with the cloth while we're walking.
Or you can ask the guy with super bleach.
He doesn't know you have super bleach yet.
Fair enough.
You all don't know each other, except Ian and KL, and then Rorik and Artie and Darius, and yeah. But anyways, as you walk through the town, past some of the little bits of farmland, and past the guard station out here, and when I say guard station, it's a tiny hut that can support 2 people, but has a circular image of the area, or a circular opening, so it can look all around 360. You make your way towards the beach. As you walk across it, the guard you're currently interacting with, he takes a very deep breath. So there's about 3 people missing today. And there's this. As you walk across the beach, you do find the boat that belonged to Laji. However, it has a face painted on it in a lot of blood. The eyes were left vacant as they drew around them, and there appears to be a peeking towards the front of the face on it as they painted across. No mouth, no nose, no other features, but it seems deliberately painted on this. And then it has very difficult to decipher script drawn with the same blood underneath. Of course, Kael, you can read said script.
Okay. That be so?
It is, and it says the same thing that he was saying.
Just for clarification to make sure I've understood, the face was painting on the boat with blood, right?
Yes.
And it's with a beak.
It has kind of like a corner towards the front of it. Not a beak, it's a corner on the face itself, and then there are eyes that were left as the only discernible features. Think like pyramid head, if you will, but nothing that extreme. It's just smaller, but like kind of like it comes to a point. Yeah, somebody's drinking something through a straw. Sounds like it. So, Rorik, you're using your divine sense?
I am. After once we get to the, I see this, and I'm taking stock of the area.
You take in a breath, and within 60 feet of you, there is undead, but that's not warranting concern in Xhorhas, especially near the Fever Gulf Lake. There are many things in this lake that are very dangerous, and that are also buried in it. It's just an aspect of the surrounding area. But aside from undead, you do not detect anything else.
Can I take the time to not inspect, but look on the lake if I see any movement or anything, like any waves on the water that would be provoked by something or something like that?
So you want to make a perception check to see if there's anything of concern towards the water. Go right ahead.
Yes, but I prefer not saying perception check.
Yeah, I was trying to... It's a little difficult to hear some of your words sometimes, so I just have to take a second to go through it. It's good, it's good. I'm working on it. I know how to deal with many accents. I'm getting familiar with a I guess, real French accent. I'm good at the
You want me
Canadian
to
French.
speak- You want me to speak with a real French accent?
No, I
Because
do
could
not.
if you want. The 17.
Okay, you look across the waters and there isn't anything disturbing them. They have their very static flow that seems to just shimmer across it. And the lake itself, for everybody else's benefit, the beach is surrounded by many different rocks and crystals that all seem to just be washed on shore. Many of them look just shiny and vibrant, but it does leave a very beautiful pastel hue to the beach as the remainder of daylight still in the sky shimmers across it. However, the waters themselves look bleak and brackish, very dull in coloration. You can kind of make out the greenish hue on top, but as soon as you get further down into it, it just turns dark. And as you look across, there's nothing immediate to be concerned about, but you know there needs to be concern when you're in this lake and when you're crossing the lake and every step of the way, but not immediately.
Is the boat only found this morning, or did you? It wasn't here.
We found him at the boat when he was washed up on shore, and then after they point over to KL, reminded us that there might be others. We came back and I don't remember the face being there before.
What about the other three? Who or where were they? Were they fishermen as well?
Even, and the guard mentions that the face on the boat wasn't there before. I will bring out my familiar, see if he can find any sign of someone either hiding nearby or tracks that indicate where they might have come from or went.
Alrighty, have it roll a perception check. Ian, what were you asking?
I was asking any information about them missing three. Were they farmers or were they fishers as well?
One other trapper, not the fisher. Somebody who just sets traps, pulls them in, stays on the land. One is farmer Himir. He's been missing since this morning when he said he was going for his morning walk. And then we're missing for the past 3 or 4 days, Miss Koth. You would know Miss Koth as one of the advisors to the leader of the halfling section of Shares. They've been missing for a few days now, but it was of no concern. Sometimes they just go into the woods to commune for a period of time.
Did you have you reported this yet?
Just to you.
One of you go and report right now, because by the pattern it looks like there will be someone else, either one of the hunters or trappers by now.
He turns and runs his way back towards the village.
Are those corpses the one he mentioned, or are there still possibly people missing out that we haven't found yet?
It should be they haven't found it yet, right, Zero?
True.
Okay, so just to be clear, there is the one that died in the hut, there is a couple of corpses here, and there are still a couple of people missing.
Oh, there's no corpses here. It's just a very strange occurrence that Ein, though they are not an elder, they are respected enough that if there's anything weird happening like this, they're the person that they're going to call on. It's just the
Excuse
face.
me.
There's no dead bodies around here. As of now, the only body you've all found was the one that is lying inside of the hut. Go ahead. What were you saying, Rurik?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna roleplay what I typed out earlier. Hey, we found this on the body. Have any of you seen anything like this? And also, Joe, can I roll to see if it was natural or not, or do you want?
Yes, roll a nature check.
Oh.
And also, when you all look at it, it looks like a spine of sorts. Sharpened, very strong, but you can feel it flexing as you bend around the edge, but like if you try putting against something, it doesn't bend at all. It seems it's definitely not made out of metal.
From what I gather, it's not made with metal, so it's likely that it came from some sort of creature.
Or was carved out of something else, but you can't really make it out.
That's fair. That being said, there should be evidence of something else around here. Quick question: the boat was on the shore, right?
Yeah, it's beached.
All right. Has anyone seen any other footprints around? Any weird-looking ones?
True.
Are we
Did-
good for that?
Nobody has investigated yet.
Yep. The
I would-
boat has beached. Somebody drew this after the
Yeah,
fish gone, and now it's left alone.
All right.
I had my familiar look around, but we all see those horrible rolls.
Yeah, your familiar is keeping watch, but that's not the same as investigating. Investigation is something that you are actively attempting to figure out what is going on. As per usual, we only have 2 people making any ability checks, unless it is a
Well-
group check.
With Rurik recommendation, Kay would be just like, well, why didn't I already look at that?
All right, go right ahead.
And I have advantage on that because of my ratio.
Oof.
What's
Wow.
your... Because of your racial, you have advantage?
Painted elf have advantage in every investigation and insight check. Let me time to
Yeah, what's that ability card? Because...
insensitive sense.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't realize they had that.
That is fucking stupid. Okay.
Well, it depends on what it's being used for, but yeah.
No. No.
No, that's just broken.
No, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so I'm really good at these things. Advantage is a really good mechanic to have.
Yeah.
Insanely
Yeah.
good. Divination
No, yeah, it
wizards don't even get it. But anyways, you start looking around. Somebody else like to investigate as well?
I suppose may as well see if I'm better than my familiar.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh,
We have
rolls
shitty
today.
rolls.
Jesus. What is going on?
So you step over the bodies, and no, there's no bodies here.
Yeah.
I've
You
heard
throw
this
a
law.
diamond worth 500 gold into the ocean. It's in your way. Just if I had that power, I would have done it ages ago. Not to this game. Y'all are new enough. You haven't pissed me off yet.
Emphasis on the yet.
I mean, look at who's in the game. Give it time.
Yeah, Joe, are those guards still here?
No, they ran back to report this and to make sure nobody else is missing.
Okay. Rick then will approach Ayn since she's. Oh, Zach, I gotta. Okay. So I'll ask it once I'm done.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So, as you look across the beach, looking closer towards the boat itself, you lift it up, look underneath, and there appears to be his catches for the day. Those are all still bagged up pretty nicely. when you go out and fish for a long period of time to provide for a community, you usually have larger sacks that you just keep dumping the fish into, but you keep it in the water so that they don't go bad, because they don't have a chilled environment, of course.
Are they still, like, the bag is still in the water yet?
No, the boat has been completely beached. The bag is now tucked underneath it.
Can I search through the bag, see if there's any odd-looking fish as compared to the rest of them? If that makes sense.
Okay. You open up the bag and you start going through. Roll me a nature check. Welcome back. 12. I mean, as for odd-looking fish, there's none that really strike you as unedible. There's different fish for sure, but there's nothing that really stands out as ominous or foreboding from it. There's no, like, giant puffer fish or anything like that. It's just, they're fish. Fish for eating.
Fair enough already.
All right, Rorik, what were you asking?
Rurik was after, like, they began the investigation. He was going to approach Ayn, because since she's the most experienced one with this village. Excuse me, Ayn, the fisherman. So I'm trying to remember his name now. Not Loggy. Lugi.
Loggy. It is Loggy.
Laggy.
Okay.
Loggy.
Loggy. Does he fish with anyone else? Like, does he take people fishing with him?
Sometimes, but he's usually goes out by himself because he's still trying to train himself to be better. It's mostly because he wishes to be independent, mostly, since he just moved in here like a few months back, wanting to start
Years.
There we go. Years and months is a blur for me.
All right.
I was just asking because if anyone else was with him, that would possibly explain the other missing people, as well as if we saw another set of footprints, give us a path to either the assailant or maybe them.
True, I was thinking about that too, but the other missing people are all missing in different times and places. They're not even fishers as well. Some of them are trappers, one of them is an advisor. At first we thought this was an uncommon occurrence, because your heart is unrelenting after all. But now someone went through all the way trying to post a message, and this is unsettling mostly because of how easily someone can just sneak past everything into the town.
Alright, well, why don't we check in and see what Darius and McKit have seen so far. They seem to be scanning it very thoroughly.
You mean KL and McKeet?
Oh, Kyle and McKeet. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Kyle and McKeet. They seem to be doing a good job at looking around, taking a close look at everything.
Oh, yes.
Nope. Haven't found anything. Nope. Nothing.
No clues.
Just this very quite pretty looking crystal stone, but that's it. And I put the crystal stone in my pocket.
Throws another diamond into the ocean. Fuck it.
I'd skip that one really far.
So, it is becoming nighttime.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just gonna ask. So, yeah, they can't find anything like that. Is there anything Rurik might be able to discern from the face itself that was drawn?
What would you be able to discern?
I guess I don't know. I was kind of stretching to see if I might be able to find some sort of religious sort of significance to it.
Are you proficient in religion?
I'm not.
You're not? Then, unfortunately, where you come from, there would be no capability of it.
Is there would I notice anything about it that stands out to me?
Are you proficient in religion?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and roll a religion check.
Let's hope this is good. Can I use my advantage from doing the recap?
Sure.
Let's hope it's good.
Damn, he's using it already.
Hey, the way the rolls have looked, I am using it.
What were you saying, Ayn?
Sorry. No, I mostly just want to look around to see if there's any blood anywhere else.
Roll a survival check.
Hey,
Okay.
14.
Okay. 17, Darius. It has no real religious significance to you, at least. Though you are aware that eyes are usually very symbolic in religions, in many of them, in fact. Some of which are very prominent here in Xhorhas. There are religions, some people would say cults, but religions in Xhorhas surrounding people who wish to follow creatures of multiple eyes. There's always the thought that eyes are the vessel to the soul, which makes it easier to get in contact with it. There are also people who think eyes are the portals to different worlds from these higher creatures and beings, but you don't know anything else about it, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm not throwing a beholder at you already. Damn. I'll wait a session or two.
Session or two.
We're not facing the boss already.
Not yet.
Not the lich.
That's a beholder. Guys, it can only float up or down. Let's leave. Just
Wait, is that an actual thing?
Originally, beholders could only float up or down. They had no other movement.
What the hell? That's
Yeah,
so
and
stupid.
nobody ever thinks to walk away. Like, it's-
Catch action, I'm out.
no. It just...
Jero, Kaya would like to inspect a bit more the boat and see how much it is destroyed in order to try to assess the distance of the attack.
Well, this is actually something easy for you to discern. This boat is not destroyed at all. There's no harm. There's no fouls in it. Like, there's no destruction against the boat at all.
So it's probable. And could Kyle be able to? Would he be able to assess if the attack happened on the water or in the area surrounding the boat, or even on the way to the village? Because
Roll
without
me
without
another
leg-
investigation.
Okay, sure. Without leg, there is no way that is rowing. He's been rowing up to the beach like that. Like, and the water is still, so there is no current, like no stream to bring the boat at destination. You must be kidding me.
Wow.
I
Pretty
don't
sure
know.
this is the cut session.
Jeez. I mean, you look at the boat, it's flipped upside down. It's too heavy for you to really lift, but like you have the others help you lift it, and when you peek underneath, I mean, there's splatters of blood inside of the boat, but that's all you can really discern. You're looking for things. Oh wait, you're doing that?
Yeah, well, if they're trying to lift it, I just half the rate of the boat.
And then Miquette goes over and lifts it. Magnificent 7.
Oh, hey, thank you. And the while he does that, I am so that I'm amazed by this feat of dynamancy, and I just completely lose track of what I was doing.
Yeah, unfortunately. Wow, that's insane. Oh, okay. That's 20 below average. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, that's a little better. There you go. There's all your good ones out.
Guys.
Yeah, you look at it. There's blood splatters inside of the boat. And there's definitely a pungent amount of blood that's lying on the beach itself. But unfortunately, other than that, you're not getting easy, clear-cut information from your investigation. However, back to Ainz with your survival check. You look at a larger splotch of blood on the beach. It is sunken into the rocks very well, so it's a little difficult to really see. But once you take note of it and look around, it doesn't start in the water. There's only a couple of drips to the point where it starts about 15 feet off the shore. So the place the body originally came from was the water, maybe? But it wasn't carried or dropped. It was quickly moved over that 10-15 foot gap. And as for any other trails of blood, there is a trail that leads back to town, but that's probably from when they carried the men into town.
Makes
So
sense.
there's no marking from the drawing itself to the water or something.
And unfortunately, it looks like the body came from the water and was thrown on shore, but it was dry. When you dealt with it, I mean, other than the sweating, of course, but like it was dry, and the blood, but it was dry.
Yeah, that's what she's contemplating right now. She'll just be kneeling near the bloodstain near the water and just trying to discern something, just thinking about it next to the water.
Just thinking about it.
Because IRL, I'm thinking about it as well.
Alrighty. So, you've all effectively looked over everything, and at this point in time, the sun has completely sunken over the horizon, hiding behind the mountain range towards the west. You begin seeing the moons rise up.
I don't think we're gonna learn anything else about it tonight, at least from what we've seen here. I say we head back and check on the village.
Like be a good idea.
Indeed. Might as well prevent any more disappearances for the night.
I also have a suggestion. I'm not really too sure how well we could do it, but my old friend, I know a buddy named Mower. He was a medic. He could, sometimes coroner. He could sometimes tell what happened when he given wounds and such. We could do the something the body auto something.
The smart people in the party, autopsy. Which I think is actually 3 of you in this party.
I mean, I'm not dumb.
No, but there's a difference between not dumb and smart.
That's true.
I'm not dumb.
Well,
Not dumb.
you gotta have consent from their family at least. Although they're probably busy grieving at the moment. Since it's getting dark, I'm just gonna, just in case, light a torch.
Okay. Oh yeah, you don't have dark vision, do you?
Yep.
Wow.
Neither do I.
Furbolgs don't get dark vision?
The one thing
Nope.
Furbolgs don't get. Don't even start. They have everything else.
No, I figured they would have it though. Like I just honestly was no.
But anyways, as you all head back over towards the village to discover, yeah.
One more question. How far is this shore here from Ain's cabin?
How far is this beach? This spot of the beach?
Yep.
About a 25-minute walk. Not very far.
Hmm.
So I'd say within a mile.
Yeah, that is still way too far for my fine familiar.
Yeah. So you all head back to town to discover everybody's dead. No, I'm fucking with you. And then you begin resting up a little bit. I think this is where we're going to take our break, everybody, but we will be right back.
Oh,
around the 1st of May, a man in black came walking into a woodland glade, following the sounds of pipes on this beautiful spring day, high from the music that they made. But what beheld him within that place, a look of recognition fell across his face. Oh Lucifer, why do you appear to me? For I am a man of God, a priest. I'm no devil, I'm father to the land. I have been here since the earth began. Neither black nor white, priest, hear what I say. I'm green and grey. The priest said, Lucifer, you lie so well. I pray unto my God, now go back to the fires of hell. You fell from heaven, and you fell from grace. You want dominion over this place. The piper smiled to the priest, he said, I was lord of animals, the wild hunt I led, until your God came here, and with his jealous hand, it was he who wanted dominion over this land. For I'm no devil, I'm father to the land. I have been here since the earth began. Neither black nor white, priest, hear what I say. I'm green and grey. The priest said all evil comes from your hands. The piper said if evil is where it lies in the hearts of man. But you lead us, oh you tempt us, to rape, to steal, to kill. The piper said whatever happened to free will? Then the grove lay empty, the priest told no one. The blossom lay upon the thorn, and the piper's tune was done. And in the sunlit forest, the animals they bowed, as the piper laid his goddess down. For I'm no devil, I'm father to the land. I have been here since the earth began. Neither black nor white, priest, hear what I say. I'm green and grey. I'm green and grey. isle so fair, an isle so green, known by many names. Feel the pulse of the land, the blood boils within your veins. Someone go down to the holy well and raise the spirits there. Lay a feather on a stone with a flame and a lock of hair. The crane, the wolf, the bear and the boar no longer dwell upon these shores. You say the goddess and god have gone, but I tell you they live on, for in the cities and hills and in circles of stone, the voices of the old ways, the spirit of Albion is calling you home. From man or Weathen's crashing sea to the moor and the highland glen, from the fairy hills home of the Shee to the veins of the Broad and the Fen. Someone go down to the holy trees of oak and ash and thorn, utter a charm in the verse of 3 till the summer king is born. The crane, the wolf, the bear and the boar no longer dwell upon these shores. You say the goddess and god have gone, but I tell you they live on, for in the cities and hills and in circles of stone, the voice
Hello, everybody. We are back with the very first session of Tales of Exandria Wednesday campaign. Eventually, I'll have each of the games choose their names so we can decipher them by more than just, you know, this, that, or whatever. But yeah, we're back. Boop. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? You've made your way back over to Ian's estate. You clean up the mess. They do take the body to the family, as it is customary in Shares for people to tend to the body post-mortem as a family. If there is a body to be had, of course. So, you're all back in the hut. What would you like to do?
Well, I can't really think much of anything to do right now.
I don't like some.
Well, I can go ahead and get to sleep.
I mean, would anyone like some tea to help calm the nerves? Maybe help you sleep tonight?
Might as well. Tea sounds nice for now.
All right, I'll go start a kettle.
Well, all in all, we're lacking in a lot of information.
True.
Well, if everyone's been told things, I remember I was told just, you don't know everything, just put together what you do have now, and maybe that will help with some stuff. Chamomile or jasmine or Earl Grey?
Grey for me.
Jasmine would be nice. And it's just sitting there, just tapping a finger on the table.
So is anybody going to do what Rorik just suggested? Lay your information down and see what you can all figure out together?
Yeah, trying to to organize the words in my brain. My brain too smooth, works not stick.
Oh,
All
he
right.
doesn't really have much gone other than he skimmed over the Severed King in his studies.
What I'm curious about is that Lagi came up dry when the blood stain go right into the water. That was the biggest question for me, other than the bloody face drawn on the boat.
That gives me an idea. What would I roll to see what I can call about creatures or beings that could keep a body dry underwater, or rapidly dry a person afterwards?
You would roll a nature check.
Nature body.
Our
Something that
intelligence
never
level
got
goes.
it in the water. That's the best you can figure out. The body was never in the water. That's why it wasn't wet from the water.
I think that the situation could be explained by gravity, and our wizard can explain very well. If the beach is sloppy, so if you stay on the beach, there is and it was quite rocky. It wasn't a sandy beach, so it's possible that the blood poured down to the lake while it's been attacked on the shore.
Did it look like it poured downwards, or is it dragged upwards?
The blood seeped in to the location that you saw the big pool. There is only droplets of blood leading to the lake or from the lake, one or the other. The only congregation of blood was on the beach 15 feet away from the lake.
The other possibility is that when you sever someone's leg, you have blood on your blade or on your clothes or whatsoever, and the droplet might have been from the blade or the clothes dropping down while the attacker was walking toward the lake and diving back into where it come from.
Well, that's plausible, since the cut on the leg was clean.
And that would explain why there wasn't any mark of assault and any mark of breaking stuff on the boat. That the assailant attacked on the shore and then went back into the lake.
Here's everyone's tea. Chamomile for you. Jasmine for you. As far as when I heard walking back here, they probably went back in the lake. That most likely be why you couldn't find any other sets of footprints around, as well as this that he brings up the needle again. He sets it on the table. It's not metal. It's some sort of. It's durable, like I don't know, some.
Can I look at it closely from experience in like handcrafting things to see like this is shaped, or is it like something natural strapped on?
Sure, roll a nature check.
Can I help her? I don't know if I can actually.
You can't make her think of things that she knows. You don't know the things she knows.
I know, I was just trying to aid.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Hey, there's a good one.
Holy crap, we are getting
Jeez,
good roll.
Light.
See, we're not that fucked, everybody.
Just the top fucked yet, you mean?
You're all fucked adjacent. You're not fucked yet.
Adjacent.
So, 18. As you're kind of looking at it, It's wood. That barb is wood. Though the type of wood is not one that's from here, Ein. It belongs to a desolate tree. That is the name of it. Desolate trees are trees that are born and grow despite the fact that they look dead in every other aspect. They are leafless, they are dull, they are lifeless, they creak and they bend and they break very easily. However, one aspect about the tree is it has a psychedelic-like sap inside of it. One that typically causes people to trip balls if they end up drinking the sap, though shortly after drinking it, they die. However, based off of the way that they were remarking, if they interacted with that sap, someone may have refined it. Because this is carved, this is etched specifically to be a puncturing blade that can break off easily. That a desolate tree breaks down when it's in a body very quickly, when it's exposed to water or sunlight. Much the same as a normal tree would grow, this would kill and destroy it and dissolve it. So it was meant to be a weapon that could have been easily hidden if the body was never found.
I will relay it to the others and say this little thing breaks down easily in water or sunlight, so whoever is doing this, it has quite the experience in executing things.
And if it broke down in sunlight, then it had to have been at some point during this evening, or else it would have just melted or wherever. Right? Like you said, because we were here just chatting at around. Jared, what time was it when we were chatting before? Like before
Dusk.
everyone. Dusk. Around dusk. So it was around that time that this had to have happened, right?
True.
Sorry.
All right.
Now, one last detail, Ein, is where desolate trees are. There's only one place around here that you are aware of. And that would be on the eyes of the lake. They're closer towards the center of them.
I will look closer towards the barb and say, if anything, this tree is native to the island that we were supposed to explore. It's near the center of it.
Only more reason to explore then, is it not?
Probably, or maybe something decided to send a message to not come.
That seems like that could match up, because remember the boat wasn't harmed at all, but just the body. And Joe, quick question, I did want to ask it at the time, but I forgot after some people talked. The severed leg, you said it was cleanly cut, but does it look like it was cleanly cut like with a weapon, or like it was like just, I don't know.
It would have to be a very, very sharp object. It was a clean, uninterrupted cut, no tearing.
Okay, so
or
like
very minimal tearing.
It couldn't have just been like like a straight wild animal. It could have been okay.
Yeah,
And
no,
also,
it is something refined and sharp.
And when me and Ein were attending poor Loggy, his wound didn't quite heal as it should have when I called upon the Platinum Dragon for aid. It seemed like whatever cut the leg was probably magical in nature or something, and it's I think that if I were to take a gander at it, maybe the needle was what killed him, but the blood loss was what they wanted us to find.
They were hoping that this little thing dissolves first before anything else.
The question is, though, is if they're sending a message, what could the message have possibly been?
Only you told me that. Oh yeah, I've been able to find something out with some magic detection.
That's true. We were probably too distracted by it.
If only we could understand what he was saying before I sedated him.
I told you what he was saying.
Oh, you did say that? Okay, I thought that was something you were keeping to yourself.
No, I translated it.
My bad.
By the way, Jerry, would I know anything about the sap? Like at least something to alleviate it?
The sap? Yeah, don't ingest it. Don't get it in your body.
So assume like if someone accidentally eats it, is there nothing to do but have them vomit or something?
Well, it depends. If they eat it, you hope their system is strong enough to fight it off before they die, or you make them an antitoxin, and they have the antitoxin before they eat it. Or you get yourself a paladin who can pat you on the back and go, no. It is a poison.
Where are we gonna find one of those though? Paladins are rare and far.
I mean,
would lesser restoration work?
It would, yes.
I mean, I can try to do some research tomorrow. If there's anyone in this town, there's like a library or someone has a private collection they'd allow me to use.
I'm sure some of them here have collections that they didn't bring to light. Could ask around.
Well, that seems like a very smart idea, and I agree with trying to learn as much as we can before we go. However, we also have to consider the fact that there were other missing people apparently. So unless we can for sure say that they're missing and just haven't been on their walks in the woods, as the guards had mentioned, and they might be stuck on that island.
Maybe,
the island's there, so time would be of the essence to save them from who or whatever did this.
At the same time, if we rush into this without the proper information, we'd be in the same situation as them. We'd have no idea what to do, no idea how to fight whatever's behind this.
Well, it's definitely something that we should definitely think about tomorrow. See who else is missing, and we'll make our plans then. For now, though, I think it's been a rather long day and full of tragic events. We should take the time to rest our bodies and minds for what tomorrow will bring.
Yes, it's better to spend the night resting, and maybe we'll come up with fresh ideas in the morning.
So, you all go to sleep?
Yeah. Before sleeping, I will probably just go outside for a little bit with the what do you call, what was that stupid thing? What's the word? Incense?
Yep. Incense is a thing.
Yeah, just to make a little prayer with while burning a few herbs, just to make a little prayer to the Wild Mother for the ordeals ahead, and begging forgiveness early if what the path she'll take in the future ended up being something a bit more hands-on or violent.
Ready? You give your soft, quieted prayer. Warwick, Darius, you play against one another yet again. You're both proficient, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. It's a draw again.
God.
Until one of you rolls below a 10 and the other is above a 10, it's going to keep being draws.
Well,
It's how chess really works.
That's what we
Yeah,
planned on, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I almost had you that time.
Almost.
Are we all taking the rest now?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like, after my 4, because I'm an elf, I can do trance. I would like to take my 4-hour long rest and then sneak to the beach.
Let me cut you off there.
Oh.
Because something happens while you're resting during that 4-hour rest.
Okay.
So disappointed.
Sound excited about it, all right?
Yeah.
You drift away to sleep, KL. Damn, all of y'all are really into beeping. Huh? You drift to sleep easily. Once your trance begins, you hear a whispered voice and a sting in the palm of your hand. The secrets. You must find the secrets. The same thing you hear every single day while trancing and sleeping. Unchanged. Free our knowledge. Free yourself. That's it.
Man, I so feel like a warlock.
No, you haven't multi-classed yet. It's on the table if you want it, but it's just...
No. I have a 10 charisma, I couldn't.
Yeah. This person's okay, just, they're not going to be your sugar daddy. They don't like you that much. You need to be a 13 to be hot enough. 13 charisma is where you start.
Fuck you.
What would you think of Urk then? There's just really old guy, Silver Fox, I guess.
Bruh, yeah, I mean, more handsome than the elf, apparently.
And younger, although. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, after your trance, you wake up.
And I want to sneak out and sneak in, leave just a paper in the house saying, find me at the beach if I'm not back when you awake. And then sneak to the beach and stay there, hidden, and trying to see if anything happened during the 4 hours after.
Just because the rolls have been so shitty, I'm not going to ask you to roll a stealth check. I think you sneak off.
I wasn't going to go to sleep.
Oh, you're not sleeping?
No.
At all?
Not sure that happened, no.
Yeah. You break out of your trance and you see Darius wide awake.
Oh, just gonna take a walk to the beach and see if anything happened and I can spot anything.
Do you want some company, or are you trying, or do you want to go by yourself?
Two pair of eyes are better than one, but you need to be able to remain hidden. I don't want to be jumped on while midair. It's up to you.
Let's just go take a look, so it's not just me. So you're not just by yourself.
Okay.
Not sure what that creature did to that man.
I can hide. Hope you can.
Yeah.
Well then, now I need both of you to roll stealth checks because someone else is involved. KL, I had the utmost confidence that KL can manage even if the dice can't. However...
You jinxed it. You jinxed it.
Darius, you
Oh
did
my.
this. You did this.
He called that.
He has been able to do it by himself, but
Hey, Darius, I think you rolled sleight of hand.
Oh, my bad. Why was it sleight of hand? I mean, my stealth is the same thing, so it's the same roll.
It makes no difference. KL, as you're like walking out, you're like, yeah, not a problem. You kick the boot of, we'll say McKeith. And McKeith, you jump up going, ah! And everyone else startles awake real quick.
Well,
I thought you were stealthy.
I sort of imagine that it's like that situation where like one person screams and everyone screams awake because they can hear the attack.
Yeah, no, I'm totally faking it, screaming like you woke me up now, just falling on the floor. What? Oh!
you're lucky I don't have
What?
enough
Yeah, right.
gold. You guys are lucky I don't have enough gold dust for a movable object.
What is attacking us? Well, I'll kill it as I grab my greatsword.
Go back.
I think
Go back to bed. I was just going to take some air. Like, don't
if you're
worry.
having trouble sleeping, I can make you some tea. I usually make some for Artie.
It's fine. I don't sleep. I'm an elf.
Elves
Oh, yeah.
sort of sleep.
Yeah, but they don't. They trance. They don't.
They have the option. But yeah. Regardless, yeah. You
They
all
can do it for
choose.
shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Go back
Or
to
for
sleep.
advantage, depending on what you're playing.
Hmm.
But anyways, yeah. Everybody else, do you go back to sleep or are you...
I'll go back to sleep.
Alright.
Same with
Because I trust him to take care of himself.
I'll send my familiar to just call them, report back to me in the morning, then I'll get back to sleep.
Right. You two are going to be followed by a bat the entire time.
Well, you know what? I mean, these two are going out. Might as well. No, I'm kidding. I'm staying.
Yeah,
So,
I'll,
my
I'll stick
clunky
with the
chainmail.
majority.
All right, everybody
I'll
else
stay
goes back to sleep, and KL and Darius, you wander outside again.
If they roll another stealth check and get nat 1, does Kyle just like kick some sleeping guards foot and then now
Unfortunately, you do need to roll another stealth check.
Oh, let's go. Oh,
It's
God.
dangerous at nighttime in Jorhas.
Yeah.
Jinxed it. Oh, nice one.
There we
That's
go.
not bad.
Darius, roll a double
Not bad.
nat 1. Oh. He was close.
Beautiful.
All right, so
Close
that's
on
an
the dot.
average of 21. Cool. The two of you
Nice.
noiselessly walk through the town. It's dangerous to go alone, take Darius. You noiselessly walk through the town, make your way past the guard station where there are 2 guards perfectly alert. It's your choice if you wish to sneak past them as well or to just,
No.
walk past.
The point is, I'm fair to walk past. I just want to be hidden there, to not be jumped on once I'm around the beach looking around.
Okay. So you walk past. A couple of them take note of the 2 of you. You've been in town way longer than everybody else, KL, aside from Ayn. And Darius, you've been around long enough. You've helped them on a couple of patrols and hunting. They see you. And you keep walking. As soon as you make it over towards the beach, you do see that the boat is still there. The same blood-stained painting there now. Though the waters are moving in at a stronger tide and licking around the rear of the boat.
Okay. I just sit there, look around, and wait for something to happen. Unless Darius is introducing the conversation. Okay, I wouldn't say anything.
Do you have your owl with us?
I can call her, yes. Call him.
Would you have her keep a lookout just to make sure nothing comes in a wider area, not right on top of us? That way, if they are coming, that we know it.
Yeah, you're right. I snap, and the owl appears in atop of the tree. And I just whistle, and it understands that the order.
Yeah. Have it roll its perception check as it's keeping watch over you.
And I'm also rolling because I'm keeping watch over myself.
Okay.
And it has advantage because it's a fucking owl.
Yeah. And I don't believe the bullshit that owls don't have dark vision. Owls have dark vision.
They do have dark vision.
Yeah.
120 feet on the sheet.
Okay, good. I think back in the day, like when 5e just came out, owls didn't have dark vision. And that was the dumbest shit in the world to me.
So this is for the owl, and this is for me. Fuck. I'm fucking useless.
Oh.
Well, at least you have an owl.
Ooh.
The owl just keeps circling around, keeping watch, perching in a couple of the straying trees that live easily in this landscape. As the two of you are there, just waiting and watching, your familiar communicates something to you, Ale. Apparently, there's a light on the southern island that it sees.
Once it communicates it to me, am I able to, looking where it points me to see the light?
You could go a step forward. You could look through its eyes and see it.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm gonna do. Sorry, I haven't played a wizard.
It's really cool. That's why it's a new campaign. I'll remind you of your mechanics for now. I'm not gonna deliberately fuck you over. Your dice are, but I'm not. So yeah, you shut your eyes and you peer through, and there appears to be an emberous glow happening on the island. Yellow, orange.
Because I've been around those lakes for quite a time now, those islands, have I already seen something like that?
I mean, you've seen glowing lights, but because of the nature of how dangerous the island is for one individual, you haven't investigated.
No, indeed I did. Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, you're stealthy, but you can always roll a 1.
Yeah.
As we've seen
Is it
5 times today.
Is it on the island where the entrance of the temple is? Or
No,
the
entrance is closer towards the center.
Oh yeah,
it's between the two.
Islands. It's between the
it's in the
islands.
crack between the eyes, the bridge.
Yes.
Where you're seeing it, it's closer to here.
Okay.
Though close enough to the beach that you can still see it. And you know the landscape of this southern island, it's a little harder to traverse to. It's a sheer drop of rocks and soil that make a cliff's edge. There's no easily established route to beach a boat and walk onto it. It's a very difficult place to move to unless you're on the northern island, or the western island, if you will. Either or, it's still northwest of the other one. In which case, there is a very, very old, raggedy bridge that has lasted centuries that traverses to the southern island. That you would know about.
Okay, and I know that those islands are not supposed to be inhabited.
No. Who the hell would want to inhabit that place?
Yeah, okay. I turn back into my body and I ask Darius to if he can see the light as well as the owl can.
Darius, roll a perception check.
I point him toward the island. And
Advantage.
look there.
Oh, thank God. My perception. 14.
That's just barely enough. Yeah, you see a little hue.
Those islands are not supposed to be inhabited. You see, we found where to look.
I think we did. I say we go back and let the others get a little rest, and we tell them what we've seen.
Please do. I'll stay here for a while. Enjoy the fresh air. And thank you for coming with me. It's reassuring.
I don't mind coming with you. I'm silent sometimes, so if you ever need a helping hand, I'll be here.
Thank you.
No problem.
Now the party is split 3 ways.
Just a question of which split will die first.
Not me. I'm asleep. Please don't kill me.
All right, each group roll d20s. No.
Sick.
But anyways, you not
Well, we know
me.
who's not dying.
So yeah, you all travel, or you travel back. You make it inside of the hut very easily, slipping in and finding a nice cozy spot. The owl, roll a d2, Miquette, because you only gave it, watch over them. 1, it follows Darius back. 2, it stays with KL. It's
All right.
You rolled a 2, not a d2.
Oh.
All right, it stays. It stays with KL, watching over them. KL, do you do anything else for the remainder of the night?
No, I'm just staying here, thinking and taking watch over the lake. If everything happens, I will go back to the village and screaming.
Alrighty. Just keep careful watch.
Yeah.
Probably taking notes in your notebook. Your owl keeping a better watch than you, thankfully.
Yeah.
And eventually everybody wakes up. Darius, you've been here for about 3 hours silently. Kael did not come back. Everyone else awake.
Where is the elf, Darius?
We went and checked on a few things last night at the down at the lake. I think we have an idea of where we need to go search for what did that.
Wait, when was this? Did he ever come back?
No, he hasn't been back, but I came back to get everyone. But I was going to let y'all get some rest, because it had been a long night.
I mean, I worry for him if he hasn't come back yet.
I'm sure he's fine. He's pretty quiet.
Well,
I don't think anything would have
know?
seen him. We'll know when we get there. We just walk back to where the boat was at. That's where I left him.
Don't worry. I left if my familiar doesn't find you back here, it'll be with him.
Yeah, see?
I assume he's fine.
I mean, before we head there, we should make ourselves some breakfast and bring him a plate as well.
I say we might skip breakfast and go check on him first.
Hey,
You can just
breakfast is
cut-
the most important meal of the day. It helps get your day going off on the right foot.
I know you're
Never-
old. Eat your breakfast as we go.
What'd you say, Miquette?
Never skip food. I'm saying
can-
that in character and out of character.
I'm gonna let the rogue die on the beach because we're eating.
You can just whip up something quick with the leftovers and the bread.
There's plenty of fish stew.
As Ein
Man,
just goes to
Fish stew
the
is good.
like a shed like room that she usually leaves locked, just to go in and just don her armor back again before going out.
For the first time since many of you have seen her, she steps out. In what type of armor, Ein?
In like this gray metal, very worn with like old scratch marks, scale mail, with a wolf pelt just tapered on her shoulder. The rest of the parts of the armor are jury rigged with hard-boiled leather sections in order to provide more protection around it.
Would KL have seen you already into this armor from past experience or not?
No, she.
No.
This is basically her first time in a long while.
And you wouldn't happen to have any fruit around, would you? Just so we could have something to eat on our way there.
There should be some in the back. She just like from underneath the bed, she just takes a shovel, just dig under the bed a little bit, and then pulls out like this shield, like half a height.
Oh, I thought you were gonna dig out potatoes and be like, "Here, eat that."
Nah, nah. I'm not a druid, else I would have done that.
No, the potatoes are in a different room under something.
That's under the couch.
Nah, that's asparagus.
So glad I can flavor my food with prestidigitation.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just pulls out a shield with the like the emblem of the Wild Mother, surrounded by something motif looking like storms and whatnot. It's very large, basically. Like she's 7.5 foot tall, and the shield is like half her height and wide.
That's a rather large shield, Miss Ein.
I prefer to stop things from coming instead of actively trying to go to them.
No, that seems perfectly reasonable. Hey, I got everyone some of these apples, and I even got one for Kyle when we get there. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Yes.
Indeed, I'm worried about him after all. As we set off.
All right. You all walk through town, and many of the people are giving you a decent berth. They're still dealing with the fate of losing a few of their own, and the protection going towards this town right now is heightened. More people have volunteered than usual. They're all marching around, keeping watch, alternating parties.
Yeah, I'll give a quick nod to the ones that all of them when passing them by.
KL, you're hidden on the beach, and you see everybody else approach.
As the last time, the first thing they notice is the owl coming and land just in front of them before KL go out of his hide. How do you call in English the place where you hide? The hideout.
That works.
Yeah. Nice. And he explains them. I think that Darius already did, but he explains them what they seen yesterday, the day before, and he also takes out, quite excited, like not even thinking about breakfast or whatsoever. He takes out a map in his cartographer tools and explain them the topography of the two islands and how to go from the northern to the southern island and how difficult and dangerous it is, and blah blah blah.
Well, the first order of business is finding enough boots for us.
Isn't the boat big enough to have 6 person? I have my boat, and there is this one.
Would it fit, Jero? I don't think it would fit, right?
You would need 2 vessels. Both of them are fairly small for 6 people.
Yeah, and if we take the 2, 3 on each.
Yeah, there's KL's, and then there's the one with the smiley face.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not smiling.
Ooh,
I hop on the smiley
face.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Already in Darius called Dibs.
Dibs. This one seems like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mine is not spooky. There is no blood in that.
There's a lot of blood on the inside of that one.
But not
Dried
mine.
by now, though. It's all dry.
Exactly. So it's not gonna get on your clothes, guys. There's no stains.
Nah.
Alrighty then.
And thank you for the breakfast. Ulrich. Greatly appreciate it.
It's like I said before, it's the most important meal of the day because it gets you off on the right foot.
Oh, hey, never seen you in armor. Didn't know you own one of those.
I wish times didn't require you to wear armor. Doesn't really have much fond memories with it after all.
It suits you.
Alright, somebody's scraping again.
The mic on the zipper.
Yeah, sounds like the mic on the zipper. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually hear it in my own. Yeah, so.
But yeah, thank you. Even though it feels awkward on me after such a long while. Who else was on Kale's boat? I think it was me, him, and
nobody else has spoken up so far, so I don't know. We have
Yeah,
Artie,
something
Darius,
like-
and Rorik in one, Miket, KL, and Ian in the other. Done. Cool.
Okay, I was
let's go.
just gonna say, friend, I'm with them, 2 I'm with the others.
Glad I had a light one and not a dragonborn to row. That I had to row across the lake with my very frail strength of -1.
So you're.
I mean, I can help rowing.
The wizard is stronger
yeah.
than you.
Yeah, why don't you let me give it a go? I can.
Did you not hear what we just said?
You're near the boat, man.
Oh shoot, sorry.
Yeah.
I love how we put all the strength people on one boat and none of the strength people on the other boat.
Sorry.
Wondrous idea.
So, you all begin rowing across. Any precautions? Any state that you wish to cross in? Anything?
Are there any
State of-
Whoa.
There you go.
As we're
Oh, I
crossing,
Yeah.
Rurik's kind of making idle conversation, but one of the things he brings up is, I thought we were going to be doing some research before we head there, but I mean, sometimes the best way to learn is just firsthand.
Exactly.
I can agree with that.
Jero?
Yeah.
Would there be any precaution that I've learned or that I've been told when crossing the lake during
Oh,
setting
stealth.
White Widow?
There are many things in this lake that are very dangerous. Many.
So before we embark, I told them and the other boat, row smoothly. We have our time, and I'd rather get on the other side in one piece rather than later rather than not at all. So
Oh yeah, Jero, When you're stealth, can you still maintain like being aware and just be the lookout as well
So
on the boat?
the way it works with stealthing on a boat is one person rolls water vehicle to see how well they can stealth, using dexterity, of course. Then everybody else just be fucking quiet, so other people can do other things instead. It's not like all of you are actively like hushing the boat. It's, you know, one person is hushing the boat.
Then I'll be in a state of awareness, just keeping an eye out for any warning signs or something dangerous on the way.
I suppose I'll have my familiar keep a lookout. Hopefully it rolls good this time. Still not even... Oh, there's a 10.
Yeah, that's average for you.
I assume,
So whoever's taking lead rowing the boat, roll a dexterity check. If you are proficient in water vehicles, you can roll that utilizing dexterity.
So just a dexterity check?
Yeah.
Alright. 15. Got to turn advantage.
KL, it's so much harder doing this when you have more weight on the boat. You have to try harder to push and begin gaining momentum. And every time you start losing that momentum, you just have to push harder. It's tedious. Darius, however, very fluid, easy strokes, pushing on either side, dispersing it. Darius gets to the northern lake within... How many hours of travel is it? About 4 hours. You're moving at slower pace. However, once the three of you get onto the forest side, or the beach side, you look out over the waters, and the other three, it's going to take them longer to get here.
How much longer does it look like they'll be?
Probably an hour or so. They're moving very slowly.
God damn it, guys, come on.
They don't have strength on the boat, and they're trying to take it slower as to not die.
I feel like maybe they should have taken one of us on there. I mean, you two are both scrapping young men, and I haven't lost all my muscle yet.
I mean, would it help if I lightened up the boat?
Unfortunately, you'd have to lighten everybody, not just the boat. The boat being lighter doesn't really help that much.
And now you're just gonna push it back down.
You have an armored cleric and 2 people in here.
Yeah, it was probably a good thing Darius rolled stealth and not us. Me and Rorik.
Man,
yeah.
If only we don't have to stealth, I would have just thunder wave the water and we just motorboated.
All right, we're here.
Got it.
So yeah, you all have about an hour. Let me describe to you all what this island actually looks like, though. So, the eyes of the lake are 2 close-kept islands near the center of the Fever Gulf itself. They are known as the Eyes because of a very old story that Ein would be very knowledgeable about. The story believes that this lake used to be alive and breathing. The creatures inhabiting it were associated with certain religions that are no longer practiced in most parts of the world anymore. Now, the Eyes are the only masses inside of this entire lake that have survived through time and through the calamity, because they are built on top of this very strong, sturdy stone structure. The waters themselves barely cascade along most of the rocky edges, though there are a couple of beaches that have developed over the centuries that line around. As you look at the beach, it goes immediately up into a cliffy or a rock slide-like cliff that you have to scale to move on top. It's a very desolate landscape. Dry, not many textures in the way of the gravel or Maybe that's dirt. If it is, there's probably no minerals in it. But the trees themselves are filled abundantly, but all look dead. Not a single leaf in sight. They're dark, they're mute, and decrepit. But aside from that, you do hear sounds of life coming from the island itself. There are many birds, there are many beasts, and potentially more.
We're not on the island yet. The second group, right? We're only the first 2 quests.
1 hour went by, boom, now you're on the island.
Well, welcome to the what used to be the eyes of one dead religion. What do you think of the desolate area?
It is starting to take notes once you mention it's from a dead religion.
So what was your question, Ein?
No, I'm just asking them, like, what are their thoughts seeing like this desolate place, yet there's still life in it?
It is an interesting island, to say the least.
Hopefully, we'll pass through unscathed.
Yeah, and for that, keep a low profile, my fellas.
And before that, I'll take out like 3 pieces of cloth, and from the moments, who would be like the more frontline focused ones?
I think that would be Artie and Rurik.
Sorry, what was the question?
Who's in the front lines?
Out of character, who looks like they're melee in the face from their weapons, that is.
Oh yeah, that would be me and Rurik.
Absolutely.
Although from a character perspective, like Ein is carrying a really big ass shield.
Yeah,
but
so the 3 of you.
Yeah, but she doesn't have melee weapons, that's why she's curious.
Rurik, do you have a melee weapon?
Yeah, I've got a quarterstaff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neither of you have a melee weapon, you have staves.
I have a big sword and loose spiked ball thing on a chain.
I have a longbow. Anyway, with the 3 cloth.
Not swords.
I have a whip.
Perfect.
What does Darius have? What does Darius have? He hasn't made the joke yet.
A crossbow. That's it.
You say it so unenthusiastically. Come on.
No, I'm not joining in this meme.
Oh God. Yeah. Going back. She'll take out like these 3 pieces of white cloth and calls out to like Arid, Kale, and Rurik before asking like to hold out their hands and just tie it around their arms with a sprig of rosemary before casting a 2nd level 8 on them.
An 8 lasts an hour?
8 hours.
8 hours.
Yeah, their maximum HP increases by 5.
Hey.
And they heal for 5 as well.
So all 3 of you feel bolstered from the experience. Added on as temporary hit points, but we know it's not temporary hit points, just so you don't accidentally think that you have way more hit points than you do.
Hey man, 5 is a big number.
That is. At this low of a level, that's like half a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than a quarter of my life.
I hope this small blessing will protect you. Keep it close.
Thank you. Wish I had something I could do the same. Anyways, so just now that we're all gathered here again, while you 3 drink your tea, catch your breath, So, where are we going exactly? I mean, the closest lead we have is checking out those trees there to see if we can find maybe footprints or whoever
Oh.
carved out of it.
Remember the map I tried to draw back on the beach. So there is this big island here, and I found the entrance of the top of Lost Noct in between the islands, so we can go there, or we can try directly to go where Darius and I saw the light last night, and it's on the southern island, and for that we'll have to cross a very old bridge. I can take you there, but
I mean, as adventurous as it is to go to those ruins that you talked about, people are dying right now. So, if anything, we should figure out who did it, what did it, and so I think those lights are what we should be going for.
Yeah,
and
follow me.
Well, I mean, it's gonna also say if we can maybe collect some of that sap, Ian might be able to make an antitoxin. Can't you, Ian? Or
I'm not truly that much of an accomplished herbalist. It's probably out of my expertise.
Is there anyone in the village or the city, town, who's an experienced herbalist? In case.
Out of character, I don't think so, right, Jero?
No, you're the most. You're not really an herb. Well, yeah, kind of. You're a healer.
You're a furbolg, not a herbolg.
Hey.
Oh god.
I actually quite like that one.
All right, everybody, the session's over. We're gonna leave it at that. Goodbye and ending.
No. No, don't do that.
Well, in any case, Kale could lead the way. Well, we'll try to be as silent as we can, looking at Arid's full metal armor.
Rurik's wearing chainmail too.
Yep, it's a heavy party.
Oh, I'm just wearing straight up. What was it?
Breastplate,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh no, it's chainmail apparently.
Yeah. Clanky clank armor. Yep.
I need to get my hand on a freaking pass without a trace spell.
In time. So, you all start scaling over the rocky cliff to make your way on top of this island.
Do we try to be at least stealthy with the disadvantage, even? Just so
Sure.
you don't know, something great might happen with those rolls.
Sure.
You don't wanna
Everybody.
try shouting out.
Everybody roll stealth.
People
Yeah,
with disadvantage roll double net 20s.
What are you saying, McKit?
Hey, so you want us to roll stealth considering the roll so far?
Wrong ass word, Darius.
I mean, speaking of,
Why do I keep clicking sleight of hand? Oh my god. No, that's better.
I mean, walking, even if we walk silently, we try to walk silently. We don't. It will be less noise than if we don't try at all. So.
All right, who are we missing here?
And boom, 7. Perfect.
This is my least stealthy character ever.
And this is like a horrible group stealth roll.
Yeah, it is.
We're the cocky
this is the cursed assassin.
The way I imagine this too is Kale's like taking the lead, being super stealthy, but then all of us are just trying to imitate him and wearing this clanky armor.
So, you actually
Right,
rolled
Mama.
perfectly average for stealth checks. 10.
We
Oh.
did it.
The 27 saved your asses a little bit. It's...
Nobody
could. Nobody could.
You I imagine Kyle walking like on leaves and taking the different chains before they clunk and trying to get everyone like.
You all see why I use this system, so one person can save all y'all asses.
Yeah, I'm still blaming Kale for whatever goes wrong next.
That's
though.
fair. Yeah, something is going wrong. So as you are traveling,
Jeez.
You begin moving between the trees very quietly, very silently. And you begin to hear the wailing. It sounds quiet, small, hurt. Warwick, roll me a wisdom save. Almost instinctually, you just start moving towards it, but you look over at KL and Ein, who take note of it and immediately go the opposite direction.
Wait,
There are
it's
some
someone
things in nature that...
Just because I have quite a bit of them, I'm just going to go ahead and do that as well, real quick. Just after hearing that, seeing their reactions.
We are currently surrounded by invisible undead for initiative.
There are undead near you. Nothing else on your radar, though.
Alright. I mean, if... Can Rurik, is the wailing still happening?
You hear it periodically.
And I try to insight check to see if that's really someone in trouble or if that's like, you know, someone like maybe the bait.
Sure. 23. That is not a person, but that is a bird, a mimicry. It's one of the ways certain animals of Xhorhas attempt to ambush people. Because when you hear something in danger, instinct says that might belong to me and I might need to save it. It coaxes you out towards it where there's usually traps involved.
Well, now that Rurik knows what's what, he's just going to he's gonna follow Kyle.
Kyle and Ein, both of you are experienced enough within this area that you know not to trust the geese.
Don't follow the bird.
Yep.
The only bird you might follow is Key.
Hey, that's a goose? I've only heard about those in myths and legends. Horrible ones that ended badly.
Oh yeah. For seeing a goose, I'm getting the hell out of here.
And there's a reason why. So don't follow the goosey sounds. Come
So,
on.
you keep walking across the island. KL, roll me a survival check.
Yep.
Since you are the only person here who's actually experienced this island before.
17.
It's a little unfortunate that you have bulkier and less agile people with you. There are a few sections of the landscape that quickly sheer drop off and start stretching into different areas. There are breaks in the island that drop down into water that streams through with spikes and growths that you can nimbly just jump across, swing across, and evade as best as you can. However, because you have everybody else, you have to remember different paths, different ways to move around. Walking the long way around some of those breaks, or when you come across the gaps, you setting up your whip and swinging across and then throwing a rope back so it's easier for people to swing across with as well. It's slowing your pace down tremendously, but you do manage to make your way over towards the southern Gulf.
This density means we can jump twice as far if that helps.
You run out of those eventually, don't you?
Oh.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that could help. Just everyone. All right, one at a time. Go. 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 But yeah.
Does he just have one of the strong people like yeet people over?
All right, go ahead, Artie.
I would not be opposed to eating. Who am I eating?
I mean, I could too, because I have powerful build.
I'm not joking. I will eat one of you. You don't make eat lighten yourself. I'm gonna throw you across.
With the way y'all are rolling, I'm not letting you roll. Just you do it.
Thank God.
No, let us. Here,
No, absolutely.
I'll roll now just to see how safe it is.
I have a +3 strength. If he's lightened, no problem.
One's a problem, but anyways, 22. You get across.
I'm so not risking it.
Warwick yeeted himself successfully.
Oh, I have a
Neat.
+5 athletics, so yeah.
Sure.
Odds are Rorik or any hits will be
As
fine.
I was saying, you all make it to the southern edge of the left eye. Let's just call it the left eye. That makes sense, right? Left, right? Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Once you make it along that edge, you see lower down towards the right eye. It's creepy. This island looks dead. That one looks petrified. Almost like the trees have a stone-like exterior to them that's cracked and broken across all of them. The area around this island is much more wide open, and you're above it by about 15 to 20 feet. As you look across towards it, you see a large creature just kind of wading through the tree line. 15 feet tall, bulbous, overflowing body with a gray exterior to it, just walking. It's carrying behind it a very crude-looking club that, to be fair, is the size of most of these trees. And it seems to just be walking around in its own domain. Not but 80 feet away from you, there is a pathway, a canyon that stretches down on the left island that breaks into a bridge made of rope and planks of wood that stretches all the way across to the other island. The rope looks ancient. The planks of wood have gaps between them. And it all creaks and moans as it dangles above a lot of water, very high up. And the wind just pushes it gently.
Cat, do you think you can do that if we go one at a time, but you do that magic where you make us lighter? That bridge looks a little weaker than old.
Yeah.
All right. That I can do.
All right, so it lasts for a minute on each person, and it is like you're concentrating. Let me... It's about 500 feet across.
Ooh.
A quick question too. You said we saw that thing that's just walking on this island we're going to?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's just a 15-foot bulbous thing. It's
I mean,
bipedal.
I had a question.
That's
though.
a good sign.
Why didn't we just use the boats to go to that island instead of crossing this bridge?
It required
Rorik
going.
brings up a very valid point, and I feel like we should do that instead.
Because there is no beach.
Yeah.
There's just sheer cliffs on the island.
Oh.
I'd rather take my chances climbing than crossing this bridge.
No, that's the thing. This is the only entrance. You can't even stop your boat there without.
There's a reason that
Capsizing.
yes.
Well, something you need to consider too is if this bridge goes, then we're also stuck on that island.
Well, I'm not a spellcaster, so there's nothing I can do to help here.
So, each of you can gain assistance thanks to Mikit's adjust density. Thank you. Because it lasts for 1 minute, you get more than halfway across if you're being careful.
So
Which
that
means
would
half
be
movement
rolling.
speed. Which means all of you would have advantage on your checks.
Not die checked.
Except Makit. Makit would just be able to do it. But Makit, you have to go last because you have to let everybody else go with the spell on them.
All right, I'll go first, I guess, if Makit wants to use the thing.
Maybe I should go first. I'm lighter and I can hide on the other way if something happened and warn you before it's jumping in here.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to go
I
first,
can
go
check.
ahead. I
I
volunteered because no one else did.
quick question: how far did you say the bridge was? Like, how long was it?
500 feet.
Oh shit, we don't have enough rope. Okay.
50 each, no.
But so I'll go first because, well, I'm the one bringing you here, so I'm willing to take those responsibilities and not making any risks. And I would like each time that I see that the bridge is a bit shortened and I like to patch the bridge where I can using some piece of rope so that it's a little bit stronger when the order is coming after.
All right. Because the amount of time that would take, you would not be able to gain the benefits of adjust density because it only lasts 1 minute per. And each time you stop to tie, it would take you about a minute.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I can. What's the range of adjust density?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but-
yeah.
I mean, I think that even without the adjust density, I'm still half as.
You have a very good chance.
Yeah.
This is the part where it gets in that one.
Hey,
Alrighty.
don't jinx it.
So, KL, I would like you to roll me an acrobatics check.
Easy.
Hey,
23. You walk across, carefully stepping, keeping your feet widespread on the planks that have support, and noting the ones that they do not have support anymore. So you just have to grab the rope and kind of lift, and lower your body onto them, which is... It's an anxiety-inducing experience. As somebody who is terrified of heights, narrating this pisses me off. As you keep moving across, periodically, roll me a survival check.
Yes. If I see one plank that is like definitely horrible, I would like to cast light on it, so that it's just an alarm for the people that are coming afterward.
Cool. All right. As for things you feel comfortable fixing while the bridge is operational, you only get 1 or 2 of them. Not enough that will greatly assist your allies, unfortunately. So, but you do make it over to the other side. There is no canyon-like region. It's just a open landscape and then the petrified trees all around you. That... Roll me a stealth check.
All
right. You find a tree and you find your way over towards it, ducking underneath a couple of the branches and just walking around the singular tree whenever you hear noises in different directions. Like, nope, move past that, and just keep adjusting.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
Before he starts, I'll see. Hopefully, let the winds guide you and just cast guidance, just in case.
Hey.
Yeah, so 1d4 on checks.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, so you
Unfortunately,
want
that only lasts for a minute.
Yep. But hey, every little bit.
The
Every
difficult
little
part
bit.
happens after the first minute, so you feel better about it.
Yeah, it's like the placebo effect.
Mhm.
Because he's
Exactly.
wearing like heavy metal armor in his big dragonborn body, so he needs everything.
Every little thing.
Alrighty, so what do you want me to roll, sorry? To get across?
Acrobatics.
Alrighty.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Not going to comment.
Oof. 19 or was it 5?
It's a 19. You don't get a disadvantage on acrobatics and heavy armor, do you? It's only stealth, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
only stealth. Oh, whoops, actually.
So, as you gingerly step your way across, you do see the several motes of light that were placed here for you by Kael. You don't really have any hiccups along the way. You're being very carefully footed. But you do make it across to the other side easily.
Alrighty.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Next.
guess I probably don't see Kale.
No, you do not. A druid. I am a spooter. Dink.
Yeah. Elf, where are you?
There is Key that so the owl that comes and greet you, and you hear in your head, couldn't get a message. Hidden somewhere. I can see you. Stay here and try not to make any noise. And I will send Key to the other side to warn the other that okay, you can go.
Alrighty.
And then you will come back and forth every time.
Okay.
All right, I'll go next then. If nobody's gonna volunteer.
Go
No,
for
don't
it.
worry, I can.
Oh.
I can go. I'll make sure that it can support someone in heavy armor now. Better me than you. And yeah, very cool go.
Someone who is in heavy
Roll your
armor already
acrobatics. Rorik.
You said acrobatics?
Acrobatics, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not. No, you have advantage.
yeah.
Thank
So
God.
roll again.
Oh, thank God advantage.
And that's the confidence and calmness right there.
So
His
you all watch as Rorik takes 30 minutes to cross the bridge. Careful of every single step. And although some of you are becoming tedious, you do make it across in time. Of course, Kael and Artie, the two of you are kind of like, the fuck?
Sorry it took me so long.
Do not worry, comrade.
Alright, we should wait till everyone else gets across.
Well, time for the actual test to see if the 400-pound something person can go through.
You don't have to weigh that much. You're good. Just go.
200 something.
Let's go. Acrobatics, right?
Yes,
With
acrobatics.
advantage.
Oui. Oh.
19. You
Oh,
make it
God.
across again with ease.
It's gonna be fucking me.
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be you.
All right. Oof.
I believe in you.
All right. When I get far enough, that's not gonna work. All right. I was
What?
gonna
You
say
can
I
try.
was gonna say I was gonna misty step just when I got
30
close
feet.
enough. Yeah, but it's only 30 feet. If I make it 30 feet, I should make it the other. 30.
Hey, it's 30 more than 0.
Yeah. If I can't make it the last 30 feet, I would misty step.
It's 200 feet is the area that is difficult for you to traverse. You can go 300, no problem. It's the last 200 where
Yep.
all of the problems reside.
Let's
So, yeah.
Let's go.
Roll your acrobatics with advantage.
Fuck.
Oh boy.
13.
Oh, shit.
I knew it was gonna be me when everybody else
The
got the good
first
rolls.
300 is easy, and you're kind of just strolling at this point. You're so light, it's so nice, and, well, everyone else took their time, but you don't see what your foot slips through one of the cracks and you almost fall, and you have the donkey moment of Shrek. I'm looking down, and it's not good. You are really, really high up. Your number of feet that you would estimate is too many. As you're kind of like holding on to the side with 200 feet left to go. Give me a wisdom save, Darius.
Let's go.
Okay. You managed to break your eyes off the middle, and you're not frozen with fear, as you just had an out-of-body experience for a few moments, looking at your impending death if you are to fall. You know, at some height, water stops being soft when you hit it.
It becomes almost as bad as concrete at some heights. Fun fact.
So, you continue across slowly, and you make it to the other side with ease.
I feel like the DC is like 12 or 13 and he just barely passed it.
There's a scale for this. There's a scale.
Keep laughing. Keep laughing.
Come
Alrighty.
on, kid.
Ein.
No, I already.
Oh, you
did.
were the 19. Yeah, you just did it. No problem. Yeah. So, Makit, you're the last one.
Yep, and using
on,
it
my guy.
intensity, when you include my carry rate, that's only 125 pounds.
You make it across with ease.
Yeah.
First 300 feet. Oh no, it's ending. Boom. You all just watch Makit walk across very easily. Adventuring's easy.
Watch him, the first one to be.
This is my first Graviturgy wizard, and I fucking love that ability already. It's gonna be frustrating as hell to me, but I love it already.
Well, no, it's simple because when we enter a dungeon with lots of traps, he doesn't trigger it. It's like, oh, it's safe. We all trigger it though, except him.
You know what? Rorik isn't even wrong. That's the most depressing part of that.
Yeah. Someone's rubbing. No, that wasn't you this time, KL. I think that was Artie. So, you've all managed to make your way across onto the right island, the smaller of the two eyes towards this lake. You look around yourselves as there are many gaps between the tree lines, and the dirt beneath your feet seems lifeless, lacking of all minerals and any beneficial purpose to spread life. Though as you look down, you do see that there are worms crawling through it.
Oh, God.
Not abundantly, but they are around you. No, not why. It's you. You worms. You worms.
Oh, that's almost as bad. Yuck.
So,
Is it like an unnatural abomination kind of thing, or is it like naturally there?
Roll a nature check and find out. You have to touch one though.
Can I poke one with a stick or something?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I got a stick here.
Splat.
It appears to be a worm.
God, this looks disgusting.
I have
Do
a
I
giant
have-
stabby stick. if
What
you
were you
want it.
saying, Kyle?
Sorry to interrupt. So do I have any notion about where this big 15 feet tall bulby thing is at the moment?
Where it is at the minute?
Yes.
Roll me another survival check. So let's see if you can't triangulate.
Natural 20.
The last you saw it was heading more northeastern, so along the edge of this area, moving away from your current position. But it could be anywhere across this area by now. Or no, it wouldn't be that far. Just that direction. It wasn't hurrying, it wasn't moving fast. It can't be more than 6 miles away from where it previously was when you saw it.
Okay. What should we do about the big thingy?
Run away, or maybe try to tell it not to kill us. That being said, let's Kyle, you know where those lights came from, so I would believe you would have to lead the way there.
I believe there are more on the southern edge if we were able to see those from the beach.
Yeah, let's make our way there while avoiding unnecessary dangers.
You are right there.
The monster were going northward, so at least we'll get farther from him hit if we try to move southward.
You're super fucking quiet, dude. You can stage whisper instead of whispering.
Huh?
You were getting super quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was saying that the monster is going northward, and if we go southward, we should be quite safe from it. Hopefully.
Sounds like a plan then.
Alrighty. So, you all begin traveling southwards. Are you moving at a particular pace or
Sneaky?
Should we even
sneaky?
bother with a stealthy pace this time? Because
Are we
That's
sure
up to
we just
you.
want? Are we sure we want to bother with sneaky?
Well, I mean, there's always the chance that we do good.
I don't want to get covered in worms, so I'm willing to do sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky.
All right, but don't blame me when I get 2 nat ones with my disadvantage.
It's okay. I have disadvantage as well, man.
oh yeah, that's not even disadvantage.
Wow.
Oh my god, I actually didn't roll. It's horrible.
Rorik, hard carry.
Yeah, double 8s.
Oh no, that's not a hard carry because that's a disadvantage.
Oh, roll again.
No, I
you
did.
already did.
I rolled the
He's
first
got a
one.
Oh, 2.
Look at us being all clang clang bang bang.
So, like,
Hey guys, we're gonna have a
Alright.
campaign with a lot of investigation, a lot of intrigue. Bang, bang, clank, clank.
Yeah, no worries.
we investigate
Most-
after we kill the things.
What were you saying?
Most of the rest of us got a good stealth rolls.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
party average comes out to not god awful.
What is it? Like a 12?
11.
Okay.
Hey, we did better than last time.
It's not the worst.
We're getting better at this, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. On a scale of 1 to 20, we are on 11.
So you continue traveling through this area, walking through the tree lines, carefully stepping and breaching into different aspects of some untold domain that none of you are terribly familiar with. As you do so, Warwick, you lean against the tree for a moment as you feel an old wound pulse to life, and your leg just pains. And as you lean against it, everyone else hears a creak, followed by as the tree snaps loudly, echoing through this entire area. And immediately after that, you hear a deep rumble nearby. And you're right, this is a cliffhanger because this is where we're leaving off until next session. Woo!
Yeah, next week on Dragon Ball Z.
So, players, thank you all very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Viewers, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves as well. And we will be back again next time. Take care.
Yay.
Bye.
Yay.
I've been many places, I've traveled around the world, always on the search for something new. But what does it matter when all the roads I've crossed always seem to lead back to you? Old familiar faces, everyone you meet, following the ways of the land. Cobblestones and lanterns lining every street, calling me to come home again. Dancing in the moonlight, singing in the rain. Oh, it's good to be back home again. Laughing in the sunlight, running down the lane. Oh, it's good to be back home again. When you play with fire, sometimes you get burned. It happens when you take a chance or two. But time is never wasted when you've lived and learned. And in time, it all comes back.